Hi, Leanne. Here is your core sculpt video for your Thanksgiving entertainment. I always want to start with a warm-up though, so you can either march or you can jog in place. It is totally up to you. Just want to get that heart rate up just a little bit, get your body warm before you start getting into the work. I should say, while we're preparing ourselves here, you are going to want a set of weights and you're going to want a band. Totally up to you how much weight and what that band looks like. I'll show options if you don't have stuff as well. From that jog, let's move into a little arm swing squat here. Get the legs a little bit warmer. Start activating the shoulder joints just a little bit. When we talk about core, basically off with the head, off with the legs. We're working the shoulders, the abs, and the glutes. We will kind of engage the hamstrings a little bit as well. From here, we're going to bring those feet a little bit more narrow. We're going to move into a clock lunge. So it's a forward stepping lunge, a side stepping lunge, and then a reverse stepping lunge. And then we'll just finish the clock. Reverse, side, and forward. I don't have a ton of room in here, so if you have more room, as those legs get warm, you can start to increase that range of motion. Make those steps nice and big. Get real low in that lunge. Let's go around just one more time. Make sure those legs are really feeling nice and warm. Front side back, back side front, just like a clock. And let's bring it back together. Bring those fingertips up to the temples and draw your shoulders back to make sure you have a nice flat back. From here, we're just going to take some good mornings. So hinge and rise, keeping that nice flat back. Tailbone comes up to the spine, activating the hamstrings a little bit more, engaging the glutes as you rise to the top. Think about squeezing your buns together to get you back up to standing, as opposed to a roll through the spine. We'll take a couple more here, and then we're going to move all the way into a forward fold. Walk your hands out to a plank. Let's see how that looks in this video. And just alternate a side plank from here. One arm up and back through the plank. One arm up and back through the plank. So as you move through those planks, nice and slow, nice straight spine all the way from the ankles, hips, up to the shoulders, top of the head. Should be one straight line in the side plank or the forward plank. Let's go ahead and do one more each side. Core should be nice and warm, shoulders should be warm. Now drop to the knees from here into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and from here we're gonna reach side to side, rotating through the spine for a nice stretch. I'll turn back this way. And we'll just take a few, your pace. You're just trying to each time maybe twist a little further, rotate through the spine just a little bit more, and really prepare yourself for that workout. So we've got a huge circuit. Most of it is going to be, I'd say every other move about is unilateral. When you're done with those stretching, come back to your feet. I'm going to show one side, and then you can basically repeat the video on the other side. So move number one is going to move through a little bit more mobility. I can only find a blue band at my house, so I am actually going to leave my band out, but you are welcome to band your quads at the moment. We have a little standing fire hydrant, or hip carvers as they are commonly called. Knee's going to come up, out to the side, flip that knee back and reset. And we're going to hit all the right side to start. So knee comes up to the side, flip back and reset. Remember, we are working all one side. So this should work a little bit of hip flexors, opening up, the glutes activate, flip it, you feel those hamstrings and glutes engage, and then back to center. Stabilizer muscles working on the standing legs, and also you're getting a lot of mobility through that hip joint. So continuing to prepare us for the workout to come. We've got about 25 more seconds on this side. The whole workout is 1 minute of work, 30 seconds to recover. So there'll be a little bit of time to kind of take those bands on and off as we decide we need them and we're gonna use them. You got about 10 more seconds here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, finish it off, and a little rest. All right, if you have the band around your quads, you can leave it there. Or if you were like me and you didn't put the band on for that first move, that's fine. You are going to need some weights for move 2. We're gonna start to engage the shoulders more, start to work the glutes a little more, and even engage the quads. You're gonna rack up those weights, and we're gonna move into a squat with an overhead press. If you have the band on, that band is gonna wanna draw your knees in. You wanna engage your glutes right away to keep those knees tracking over the toes, and then squat and press. All right, 30 seconds of recovery is over, and we are back into the work. So range of motion up to you. We should be nice and warm now on move number 2. Our hips a little bit more open. Might be feeling a little lopsided, but that's okay. The other side, it will join the party here at the end of the circuit. And we're working in that squat press, shoulders activating, heart rate probably coming up because we're working the whole body, legs activating. You got about 10 more seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and we get to put these weights down. All right, if you got the band on, you're keeping it on. If you don't, it's time to put it on. I'm actually gonna put on. You can use one of those smaller bands, or you can use like a booty band. I'm gonna go with the booty band because my smaller band is, like I said, blue. Wrapping it around the knees again, making sure those knees track the toes to engage the glutes, and we are walking 2 by 2, side to side. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Now range of motion is really up to you. Depends a lot on the size of the band that you have, but the more you can kind of get those legs apart, the more those glutes are going to be engaged, the more challenging it's going to be. And again, the whole time, you want to make sure you're just in a nice soft bend and those knees are tracking over those toes. So you want to be careful not to kind of have that band drawing you in. So those glutes are engaged whether you're moving or not. And we still have about 15 seconds here. This one's a fun one. Sometimes the smaller moves are even more impactful than the bigger moves. You got 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are welcome to drop those weights now for a little bit. We're gonna move a little bit more into the core, another full body move. Glutes, abdominals, a little bit of shoulders. We are going with that X chop. So you're gonna start with the weight on your right hip, pivot that right foot, squeeze that glute, and as you do, throw that weight up over your left shoulder. When you get it up over that left shoulder, abs tight, control it with the abdominal muscles, and then bring it back down. Join me here. Throw and release. Throw and release. Try and make it like a straight line up as opposed to like a little U curve. That way, you're really having to engage those abs to stop that throw so that weight doesn't go flying over the back of your room, over your left shoulder. You'll feel those shoulders engage. You'll feel that heart rate come up even more as we engage more muscles and bigger muscles. We're here 20 more seconds to complete the minute. Yeah, got about 10. Stay with me for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can release that weight. All right, time for sort of a bigger cardiovascular spike in our workout. We are gonna do squat jacks. I'm gonna show a few options here. You can jump and tap the ground. You can step out and tap the ground. If you want a little break for your booty, you could be right here in jacks. You could be here in jacks. You could be here in jacks, and you can vacillate between all those moves. We are working in 3, 2, 1. You have the same minute of work as you did with the other moves, even though this is gonna be your big cardiovascular spike of the day. So heart rate should be spiking on this one, whatever you choose. Make sure you are still dropping into that squat by dropping your butt down and not your boobs down, yeah? We're about halfway through it. Should be breathing heavy, should be sweating at this point. Take your options if you need. Maybe you take a few options for like 10, 20 seconds, and then I'll let you know when we're into that last 10 seconds and you can go big to the finish line. All right, here we go. 10 seconds left. Whatever you got here, little recovery coming on the other side. 3, 2, 1, and breathe. Awesome. All right, we're staying in a few more bigger moves. We're gonna come back to some legs and some abs, working them a little bit different this time, keeping the bands off, and then eventually we'll work our way all the way to the ground. So you're just gonna bring that weight right to the chest, sticking with that right leg this first time around. Big step forward, rotate towards that front knee, back and reset. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Forward lunge, rotate and reset. So the beauty about this move, you get a little isometric hold in that lunge. We work the core, the abdominals through the rotation, and you get a little bit of mobility as well. So you should be feeling it in the quad of the back leg, the glute of the front leg, and all through your abdominal muscles. As you come into that front lunge, make sure it's a big enough step. That front knee stays behind the toe, rotate over, and you're gonna have to push off that front foot to come back to standing. Big step, rotate, and reset. We're close. 3, 2, 1, and a little breather. All right, back to another cardio move. I'm gonna show some options on this one as well. It's a power knee staying on the right, with weight or without weight. I'll start it without weight. So you're gonna have that leg back, drive the knee forward. As you drive the knee forward, little crunch. So you get to actually put a little rounding in the back to bring your ribs to the hips. You can do that with your weight right here, or without weight, you could make it a jump. We're going for big. I want you to make it as fast and as big as possible. 3, 2, 1, right here. So this is another one of those. I'll turn a little bit to the side on this. Full body move. Hip flexors are engaging, glutes and the entire stabilizer muscles down. The standing leg is engaging. Abdominals are engaging. Shoulders are engaging, and if you're getting off the ground, and if you're making it big, that heart rate is spiking, and this is a big cardiovascular effort right here. Once you got the move, as fast as you can, hang on to it as long as possible. We're getting close here. You got 8. Stay with me for 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a little breather. All right, we're getting there. I think this is our last standing move in the set, if I remember right. All right, we're taking those bands. They're coming back on for a little while. We're gonna put them around our ankles this time. So we're gonna make the move small again. Our heart rate's gonna get to come down for a moment. Even though they're around our ankles, we wanna watch this, right? Engage the glutes to keep the knees tracking over the toes. Arms are gonna come up and sitting back in the chair pose. And then that right leg is going to tap back. All on the right, join me here. Now that right glute should be working as you tap back, depending on the strength of your band. But the stabilizer muscles in your left leg, they are firing as well. You might even feel them even more. Glutes, a little in the hamstring, all down the IT band. Just keep staying on this one side. I want you to think about like 90% of the weight on that standing leg. This leg is soft enough to be able to pick up on a dime and tap it back. Try not to put weight in it as you tap it back. And you're in a teeny tiny bit of a squat, just a teeny one. You got 4, 3, 2, 1, and up and out of it we go. All right, back to a little bit of cardio, and we are getting close here. So a few options on this one as well. It's an inchworm to a push-up. Forward fold, walk it out to the plank, take the push-up, walk it back in, and roll on up to standing. You can take a breath at the top. 3, 2, 1. Forward fold, walk yourself out to the nice strong plank, take a little push-up, walk yourself back in, and a big deep breath. Now, if you want a little more, squat, jump it out to the plank, take the push-up, jump it back in, and rise. Now, I still have my bands on, just to kind of, not take up time transitioning from the bands. You're welcome to keep it on, take it off. We are gonna use them down on the floor where we're moving next. But for now, it's up to you if you want that added transition. It does add a little bit, especially if you're doing the squat to jump, but otherwise the feet don't move. You walk it out, you take the push up, you walk it back in, and you rise and you take a little breath. Chest, shoulders, abdominals, hamstrings, it's all moving, so heart rate should be coming up, but we just have 3, 2, 1, and breathe. Okie dokie. We come down to the ground, I think. Leave your bands on. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna try and move. We're gonna see how this works out. It's a little unprofessional there for a second. That's okay. Okay, we are gonna come down to the ground. Keeping those bands on, heels together, knees apart. We have what are called prayer crunches. So you're gonna come onto your back here, hands together, facing them towards the feet. And we're gonna take little crunches here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I don't love that. Maybe there. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Nope, that's not good. I think we're just gonna have to leave it there. That's all right. You're prayer crunching. You're not watching me, right? It's not about watching me. Okay. So now we're in all glutes and abdominals, basically to the finish of the set. We're getting really close. We got some work for the center, a lot of work for the sides, and then we will be done. You can kind of back up the video and start over on the other side. You got 10 more seconds here. Hopefully that belly is on fire. Relax the head and neck. Think ribs to hips for 3, 2, 1, and a little rest. All right, I'm actually gonna swap out back to my body band here. You're gonna bring whatever band you have up around your knees. We are coming down onto our sides this time. Knees together, heels together, and from here we're gonna do some clamshells. So all we're trying to do is raise that top knee, getting a little space between the knees, keeping the feet together, keeping your upper body relaxed. Let's go. Does not have to be a very big move to be an impactful move. You should instantly feel it in the hips and in the glutes of that top leg. You want to be really careful that your whole upper body's stable, so it's not like a rollback, to try and get that leg to move. It's all happening right in that hip joint, open and close. Now I'm already feeling a massive burn on this side. It's unfortunate that I'm only gonna get one side today, but you'll get to start it over and do the other side. You're still on that right. How is that right feeling? It's got 10 more seconds. We can do this. Oh, I'm gonna have to pound that one out in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a little rest. I don't know, something about pounding out the muscles. It's like a little mini massage. Go for it. Feels good. Now, when I taught this, I got a little afterburn in the next move, so we'll see how this feels. So now that hand's gonna come forward, fingertips are gonna go to temples, and we're gonna work into the obliques with a side crunch this time. So again, not rolling forward, not rolling back. We're staying perfectly on our side, using this arm for a little bit of support, knees and heels together. Fingertips can be at temples or wherever you want. And again, ribs to hips. Now, just like with the clamshells or some of our other moves, this does not have to be very big to be impactful. Just tiny little crunches are enough. If you want to come to the top, you could make it a little pulse and stay in it. You could slow it down. Your pace, your range of motion. Hopefully you got some good music on, because I know I did not get the music going for us here today. Technologically was not totally set up. We're here about 10 more seconds. Oh, my other side is going to be left out. I'm going to have to do that later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a little rest. All right. We are back on our backs to finish off. We're going to keep these bands around our knees. Just like when you were standing in a squat, I want you to make sure that those bands aren't drawing your knees together. So your feet are about hips width distance apart, and the bands are tracking over the toes, and we're gonna move into glute bridges. You are welcome to load your hips with some weights as well, but the bands do provide some extra resistance. Squeezing your buns up to the top and releasing back down. Remembering the entire time those knees are fighting against the bands by using your glute muscles. So your glute muscles should be engaged the entire time. I want you, once you get used to the move, to think about squeezing as high as you can at the top, holding for a split second, and then keeping that contraction on the way down. And then as soon as you lose that contraction, try and push right back up. So it almost feels like there's no recovery point in this move. You're welcome to come to the top and take little pulses as well. That's always an option. And if you need that recovery point at the bottom, you can take that too. We're only here about 8 more seconds, and then I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, these bands come off. 3, 2, 1, come on down. Awesome. Oh, we are getting so close. 2 more moves. Okay, we end in the abs. We start with some scissor kicks. Or some scissor, let's see, I'm not gonna be able to fit my whole body in here, am I? Okay, move it back, move it back. We are on our backs, coming out into a hover, and we're gonna add little kicks, heel toe of the feet. Doesn't have to be big. In 3, 2, 1. So a couple options on this. You can come all the way up into a crunch, tuck the chin into the chest, and engaging the upper abdominals as well. You can have your head down and really focus on those lower abdominals. If this is too much, you raise your legs a little bit more, or you put a little bend in them. You can do that as well. That'll all make it a little bit easier. Now, if at any point in time you're finding that low spine start to come off the ground, like you could stick your arm under there, belly button in, and imprint that spine into the ground. We only have about 10 more seconds. Stay with it. Oh, so close to that finish line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Done. Awesome. Okay, we plank to the finish. Low plank. Any version that you would like. Elbows on the ground, or you can have your hands if you prefer, right under the shoulders. Coming up, ankles in alignment with hips, hips to the shoulders, shoulders to the top of the head. So you're gonna find something about 3 to 5 inches in front of you to gaze at, and we are just holding. So sometimes the holding can be harder than the movements. So if at any point in time you want to drop to your knees, notice how my back and my alignment doesn't change at all when my knees are up and my knees are down. I'm just taking a little bit of weight off my abdominals. If at any point this becomes too much, you can come into a tabletop as well. If you're, oh gosh, I got a plant in my hair. If you're in that tabletop, that belly buttons into the spine, the hips are still in alignment with the shoulders. So you're still drawing in the whole time. You're still holding your core nice and tight. You want to be really careful you don't end up here or here, right? And just like that, we're almost done. You got about 10 seconds. So close, so close. I'm gonna count you down. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. Awesome. All right, for the other side, you're just gonna back it right back up. But for when you're done, you're welcome to bring your hands into your chest, come on up into a cobra, release the low back, stretch out the abdominals, and release. And on the next one, shoot your bottom back into a child's pose, heels together, knees apart, stretch forward. To stretch out the shoulders, you're gonna take one arm, thread it under the other, and lay back down. And do the same on the other side. And then to get the glutes from the floor as well, bringing one heel forward, straightening out that back leg in pigeon. Let's see if I can't turn a little bit. And you are welcome to lay down on that leg or stay up, whatever's comfortable for you. You can also bend that back knee and lean forward over it, stretching out the glutes, getting both sides. Make sure you stretch when it's over. And I hope you enjoy and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks.